Hi, business owners. Phase 3. Woohoo! But do your customers know you're back? Well, that's where the Clarence Bug Show and Pelican Broadcasting can help. Right now, we've got great rates on advertising packages to help you get the word out. Shoot me an email at bugsclarence@gmail.com. Or better yet, call me up. I'd love to talk with you. 225-485-6839. Let's get together and make Phase 3 the best it can possibly be.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
They said I could find you here. Why are you fishing? Our company's got to ship out 2 full color brochures and 20 color copies. You're killing me.
It's done. Designed, printed, packaged, and shipped.
How?
You just got to know the right people. Baker Printing, the printing people.
How come you get to fish in this private lake?
Like I said, you just got to know the right people. You can know the right people too.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
As we start another week of the Clarence Bug Show, here's hoping that your Mother's Day weekend was an absolutely fabulous one. If not, well, as we like to say, each and every Tuesday, right about this time of the day, good Lord willing, you will still be here when the next one comes our way, and you'll have the opportunity to try it all over again. You've heard me say before, and I make no bones about it, I am giddy this morning. And I know a man's not supposed to be giddy, especially a black man. I get that. But hey, I'm a NASCAR-loving, diehard conservative, so I'm already outside the norm. I have one of my favorite people on the planet with me this morning. You know him as an old St. Landry Parish boy. You also know him as an attorney. You know him as a staunch man of God, an American-loving, flag-waving conservative. My friend, Senator Elbert Guillory. How are you, young man?
Good morning. How are you?
Got the fan club here this morning. Got the fan club. So let's start with what has life been like with COVID for Elbert Guillory?
Actually, I have not been able to stay home and quarantine and all of that.
Right.
I've been in my office every day.
Bless your heart.
I'm a full-time lawyer.
Right.
I'm an associate pastor.
Right.
And I play a lot of politics. So I just had to keep going.
Yeah. Speaking of politics.
I did get the vaccination, though.
Oh, fair enough. Speaking of politics, what has it been like watching this legislative session from the sideline? I mean, you are one of those that understands full well in Louisiana, politics is a contact sport. So to not be in the ring, what's that been like for you?
It's still fun. I'm still very much engaged in it.
Yes.
I find the issues that are important to me and the people who are pressing those issues or fighting those issues.
Right.
And I spend a lot of time at the Capitol, in the back rooms and in the halls.
Okay. Fantastic. Best case scenario, now that the lockdowns have been done away with, pretty much en masse, based on your experience dealing with fiscal matters in the state, how long do you think it's going to take for our economy to get back up to pre-COVID levels? And what, if anything, can the legislature do to best facilitate this return to normal?
Unfortunately, I think that it's going to take a little longer than necessary. The latest job figures indicate that people are not returning to work because of the federal government's policies. And that's going to delay our economy, our economic recovery significantly. That's unfortunate. I think that the Louisiana legislature could manage unemployment and employment, preparing more people to go to work, and making sure that the government does not disincentivize people from going to work, and that will help us recover much more quickly.
One of the things I've always admired about you, Elbert, is that you are a strong man of faith. You mentioned moments ago that you are also an associate pastor. What has been your experience since COVID kicked in and the lockdowns, particularly for houses of worship? What sort of damage do you think has been done to the faith community in that regard?
Unfortunately, the churches were already empty on Sunday mornings, almost empty. The bars were full on Saturday nights. COVID helped keep those churches empty on Sunday mornings. We did some things with Zoom and technology, and having services in parking lots with people in their cars. But we have not returned to, although our churches are open now, we have not returned to the pre-pandemic levels of church attendance. And that is really a disaster for American morality.
As a man of faith, I oftentimes feel that God allows certain things to happen in our lives so that we can engage in what I call faith-building exercises. We have to flex that faith muscle, because like any other muscle, if you don't exercise it regularly, it becomes flabby. It's of no use to you. When you look at where we are now and where we have come from, ultimately, what are you hoping will be the benefit, if any, for the faith-based community to come out of COVID-19?
I absolutely agree with your premise. I believe that the Lord has a plan. He knows what's going to happen, and he's in control of it. I believe that he has given us this opportunity and this responsibility to rebuild. And if we do not take that opportunity, we in the faith community, then it's on our shoulders if the whole system crashes down upon us. And I truly believe that America is getting to a point where our system can crash. And a big part of that crash is that we have lost the moral underpinning. 250 years, the Judeo-Christian has been our underpinning. And now we've thrown that out of schools, and we've taken it away from the Christmas displays in downtowns. And we've let that happen. It's on us.
It's interesting that you mentioned that, because I have been of the opinion, probably all my life, that when it comes to spirituality, people of color, due in large part to our history in this country, we've had to be some of the most spiritual people on the planet. Because there were times in this country where our faith was all we had. But when you look at the things you just mentioned, attempting to take God off our money, taking him out of our schools, taking him out of government, taking it out of, and I guess this would be redundant, out of the courthouses, the Ten Commandments, where, by the way, we need the most visual representation of the Ten Commandments. All of this removal of God from public life has been primarily, almost exclusively, at the hands of liberals.
Yes.
And yet, our people, people of color, continue to vote for individuals despite the fact that we are some of the most spiritual people on the planet. What does that say to you about the state of America, and particularly people of color, and how we are dealing with what is arguably our most precious right, our right to vote?
Unfortunately, our education system has failed our community.
Amen.
And so people who don't understand their history and don't understand American history, and we're vulnerable to charlatans. And people have sold us a bill of goods.
Amen.
Liberals who are destroying our babies with abortion. With one hand, take the other hand and extend it as though they're extending a hand of friendship.
Right.
A sword in one hand and a few dollars in the other hand.
Right.
It's been very destructive to us.
Can you stick around for a few more minutes? I'd love to do another segment with you.
Absolutely, sir.
We are spending some time with one of my favorite people on the planet. He is, like my mom, St. Landry Parish guy. Mother grew up in Eunice, Louisiana, stone's throw from the city of Opelousas. It was, and still is today. When I drive to Eunice or anywhere down 190, it's a landmark for me. And one of these days, I'm going to stop and take you up on that cup of coffee or some cracklins or some boudin and get up that way and spend some time with my friend.
Please do that.
When we come back, we're going to talk about some national issues with the guy that has viewed through the lens of life both sides of the political aisle. And while many of you think that you possess intestinal fortitude, imagine this, if you will. Being of one political party pretty much your entire life, and then the light comes on. Would you have the intestinal fortitude to change the side of the aisle that you reside on? That's the kind of character, that's the kind of strength that I'm blessed to have sitting next to me today. First break of today's show. We'll get her done. We'll come back and talk more with Elbert Guillory, right where you've got it, here on the Clarence Bugg Show, only on the Pelican.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Hi, I'm Hurricane
Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with the Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
The first big sale of the year is here. The Dream Garage Spring Event is underway at Team Honda. For the first time ever, get $12.50 customer cash on every new 21 Passport, or get 0% for 60 months on every new 21 Pilot at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Mandafine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Mandafine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Mandafine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bud Show. If you're just tuning in, first of all, shame on you. Where have you been all morning? Second, we are spending some time today with one of my favorite people on the planet. Former state senator, practicing attorney, associate pastor, and down-home St. Landry Parish guy, Elbert Guillory. Elbert, let's talk a little on some national issues. As a conservative, I know it has to concern you, as it does many other of our fellow Americans, this enormous spending by the Biden administration in such a short span of time. What's your take on the amount of money the federal government is just throwing out there these days?
I believe that the single greatest threat to America today is federal government spending.
Mm-hmm.
2 years ago, we had about a $25 trillion national debt. Our national debt right now, given the spending of the present administration and their plans to spend some more.
Some more.
By June, we should have a national debt of more than $34 trillion. That's more debt than any nation, any group of corporations has had ever since the beginning of time. My grandchildren and my grandchildren's grandchildren will not be able to pay this off. People forget about what happens when government goes bankrupt. And when a unit of government goes bankrupt, you can ask Detroit.
Right.
The people who are hurt are the people who are dependent upon government, the elderly, children, veterans. We are this close to a national disaster.
Do you think the average American truly understands and grasps the concept that, first and foremost, the federal government has no money? They don't produce one good that they can put on a store shelf to sell at a profit and generate money. The only money they have is the money they reach into the pockets of working people and extract. And secondly, at the end of the day, there is no free lunch. It may be free to you, but that slice of bread on that tray of free lunch someone hands to you, that sugar, flour, baking powder didn't manufacture itself. Somebody had to grow it, harvest it, process it, bake it. All of that costs money. Do you think the average American understands there is no such thing as a free lunch? And more important, somebody's going to have to pay this money back.
Yes. I don't believe that the average American understands how the economy works. I mean, the government talks about, oh, we're going to have free school for everyone, and we'll have free
everything.
And we'll invite more people to come in and give them all kinds of free stuff. Health care and Social Security for people who have never ever worked and put money into the Social Security system.
Right.
It's a disaster waiting to happen.
Speaking of, more people coming into this country, getting benefits that they've not contributed toward. This situation on the border and illegal immigration, how would you rate the Biden administration's response to this so far?
On a score, a grading score of A to F, I'd give them a Z.
Can I use that sometime?
Absolutely.
When I do, and you see me reach over, pat myself on the back, that's because I stole that from you. On a scale of A to F, a Z.
Dealing first with crime, so much more crime is coming in.
Oh, yeah.
Dealing with terrorism. Those aren't just Hispanic people who are coming in.
Correct.
Those are people who are coming in from all over the world.
Correct.
Through the southern border. And I'm very concerned about that. I'm concerned about the impact on our economy, because the people who are coming in are competing with unprepared, uneducated Americans for those jobs.
Yes, sir.
And of course, for our senior citizens, the Social Security system is going to crash a lot soon. They were already predicting that it would crash in around 2030, 2032. It's going to crash sooner than that, because you have so many people who have not put anything into that system who are now taking out of the system.
Right.
Thanks to people like the present administration.
South Carolina Republican Tim Scott recently gave a rebuttal to President Biden's address to the joint session of Congress. And he stated in that address unequivocally, America is not a racist country. He has been ravaged by the left over this. I know that strikes a nerve with you as someone who had the light come on politically for him.
I grew up in Louisiana, in the Deep South, in the 1940s and 1950s. I know what racism is like. I know what discrimination is like. And I know where it comes from. And it's not an American thing. America is not a racist country. There are people who have not been.
We got 350 plus million people. Of course, you're going to have some.
Some don't like people of color. Some don't like skinny people. Some don't like fat people. Some don't like tall people. Some don't like short people. Right. There are all kinds of isms around. It's discrimination, and discrimination has been reduced greatly during the course of my lifetime. This is the land of opportunity.
Amen.
This is a wonderful place to live. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else on this earth.
No, sir.
And I've been all around. I've been to all kinds of countries.
Right.
This is not just where I was born. This is home because I'm smart enough to know that this is the best place on earth to live.
What was it like for you when the light came on in Elbert Guillory's mind as far as conservatism is concerned?
I've always been a moderate, because I'm a country boy with country boys' values. Mom and Dad both very spiritual folks. Dad was a Catholic, Mom was Baptist. And so I grew up in both those churches.
Right.
So I've always felt that closeness to God.
Finally, I've been beating this drum for a while, and I will continue to beat it because, like you, I was raised with certain principles, one of which being, to whom much is given, much is expected in return. And as a man of color with a platform, when I see issues that particularly address the African American community, if I don't say anything, then I'm to blame. Right now in this country, for those who keep the African American population alive, what I call the baby makers, ages 15 to 39, the leading cause of death is homicide, 40%. If law enforcement does its job to the best of its ability, that's another 30% that's going to be arrested. So that's 70% of the baby makers for African Americans have been removed from the equation. Of that 30% that's left, you now have to deduct those who are serving long sentences of incarceration for other crimes, those hopelessly hooked on drugs, those with no education and no desire or appreciation of an education. And of those that do engage in the act of procreation, the government has made it convenient for, and in some cases, encourages us to abort those babies so they never make it out of the womb. I guess what I'm saying is, you and I sitting here today, we are an endangered species. The American Medical Association has classified the state of Black America today as a, quote, national tragedy. And yet, the mainstream media says nothing about the story. Why do you think that is, and what does that bode for people that look like you and I?
You're absolutely right when you say endangered species. During the last 2 years, our birth figures indicate that you're absolutely right. They're the lowest since they started recording it.
Wow.
I was talking to a Klansman not long ago, and he told me that...
You knew he was a Klansman?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I absolutely knew he was a Klansman. And I talked to a lot of different kinds of people so that I can have an exchange of ideas. I need to know what's going on.
Right.
And so he was laughing, and he said, black people should wear sheets because between our rate of killing each other and our rate of abortions, there's nothing for Klansmen to do. They're having a picnic. They see our sheets are hanging up in the closets. There's nothing for us to do.
We're doing their job for them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And for a Klansman to say that,
wow.
And he was saying it jovially,
right?
But in the essence of his conversation was accurate between the high rate of abortion and our high rate of killing each other. We are on our way out as a people. That's why so many folks have to, the Democrats are bringing so many people in from southern border to replace us.
If you doubt
base.
If you doubt the authenticity of that statement, I ask you to consider this. In a 3-year span, 2015 to 2018, in the largest city in the United States of America, New York City, in that 3-year span, the birth rate for African Americans in New York was minus 18,000, meaning in the largest city in America, 18,000 more black babies were aborted than were actually born alive. Ponder that, if you will. I am going to encourage this guy to, number one, keep doing what he's doing. Number two, to get back in somebody's office somewhere real soon, because we need voices of reason, we need voices of truth, and we need individuals that are able to navigate this murky American mainstream political machine that continues, at least as far as people of color are concerned, to not serve our best interest. My friend, as always, nothing but God's best on you and yours, and I'm going to hold you to getting you back in somebody's office, hopefully statewide, in the near future.
I appreciate that very much. I promise you that I'm going to continue to be a country boy who loves God, loves country, loves my people.
God-fearing, flag-waving American. That's the kind of guy that we all know and love. Bottom of the hour break. We'll get her done. Come back and talk more right where you've got it on the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Caught spiders? Premier Pest Services.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. In case you don't know, this is not Elbert Guillory.
No, but I'll tell you, he was fantastic and a great man.
Is he awesome or what?
I mean, the spirit was in the building.
Talk about.
Absolutely.
He is one of those individuals I have admired for many, many years. And he doesn't have to tell you, I'm a country boy. I'm a simple man with simple tastes. I mean, all you have to do is talk to him for 2 minutes.
Exactly.
And it just comes bubbling out. If you're saying to yourself, wait a minute, she looks familiar. Well, it's probably because you just saw her commercial on the Clarence Bug Show for Debbie's Bridal, A Formal Affair. How has COVID impacted your business, Debbie?
Oh my gosh, it's really been very bad in the beginning. I opened up last year around January, February, Mardi Gras prom time. So that really did a big devastation for me and other bridal shops that are in the United States, not just in Louisiana. But then, of course, getting closed down for COVID and having to pick back up. Now brides are coming back and they're ready to get married. They're ready to be around their friends. They're ready to do things. So we're back up and running. I do appointments only right now for brides, but as soon as things start opening back up, and I really think the women are just like we want to get married, and if it just has to be 50 people, then that's what it's going to be.
Right.
But to me, a bridal shop and owning a bridal shop is not just about selling a wedding dress. This is about selling love under the eyes of God.
Right.
So, like I tell them, if you can't have anybody there, but you have the Spirit,
Amen.
the Holy Spirit, and
Amen.
God putting both of you two together, the dress and the tuxedo, you know, if nobody else is there, then later on you can do this big old party. But they're definitely back into getting married.
Any idea how bridal shops in Louisiana have fared during the lockdowns versus the rest of the country?
Yes, I am in a group of bridal shops all over the country, and it's a private group, and we talk to each other daily about what's going on. More bridal shops have closed down than ever before. They've gone bankruptcy. A lot of them have stopped doing bridesmaids dresses or prom dresses or homecoming, Mardi Gras, even some bridal, because of the issues that are going on, not just with COVID. We've got to consider this shipping, you know, not just with bridal dresses, but food, our economy, everything that we do in life.
Yep.
Believe it or not, it's shipped on over.
Yep.
I mean, that's why we have to do a lot more in America.
Right.
So I'm hopefully working on something where I can do some designs in America and maybe do my next line.
Fantastic. Speaking of that, a lot of folks are still short of funds because of COVID, their employment situation, et cetera, et cetera. Will Debbie's Bridal work with people in order to make their wedding happen?
Debbie's Bridal has always done that. Yeah, I'm gonna pat myself on the back a little bit.
Sure.
I've been in the business for 40 years, and I have grandmothers and their granddaughters and people that have come and stayed with me for many, many years, because I will work with you. I do know what's going on in the industry. And that's why my dresses are off the rack 50% off. Name brands. I'm working with the companies, and they've known what I've done for them for 40 years.
Right.
They're willing for me not to have to buy that 70-piece minimum to go ahead and let Debbie's order from them, because they know how I do help the community. I do help our people, and I will continue to do that.
So since COVID kicked in, and with you being plugged into the trends nationally, are there any trends out there because of COVID that future brides might want to be aware of?
You know, it is what the people are designing, and I do want to bring up this issue also: the internet. People, be aware. If it's too good to be true,
it probably
guess what?
is.
No, it definitely is. Okay, I've had 10 women in the last week alone that have ordered bridal, prom, mother's dresses that have not come in, or if they did, they're not the same thing that you see that's in the magazine from a name brand.
Right.
So you've got to be careful who you talking to on the other side of the internet. Plus, they don't get their money back. So, Clarence, you know, the industry runs the way it runs. Food people, they grow the food, we get the food. It's just like a bridal dress. They design the dress, you get the dress, you have to buy the minimums. That's the way the world works.
Right.
We got to continue to stay that way to build each other up. Plus, I always refer to other small businesses. If you can't get it at Debbie's, I'll let you know where you can.
Awesome. So with COVID having shut everything down, forced Americans to reevaluate our priorities in certain instances. What do you think the future holds? Are we looking at a trend now of smaller wedding parties, or as soon as we are able to look for it to be full bore again?
Absolutely not. I'm hearing more and more people with hearing things that are on the TV and watching this person say, yes, wear a mask, don't wear a mask, do this, do that. I think as a nation, we're getting tired of being told what to do.
Amen.
I mean, I haven't heard of any flus this year, and normally there are thousands of people that die from the flu. So, I mean, it's up to you whether you want to get the vaccine or not and how you feel about it. But I think people are really needing people. It is mentally and mind-blowing what this has done for our psyche alone.
Yep.
And for two people to get married, in my case, and under the eyes of God, they want their family and friends to be there.
Yeah.
No dancing, really. I mean, I sang the other day. It's like no singing either.
Right.
This is what the world's about, and this is what we're about.
Unfortunately. So, ladies watching right now, or guys for that matter, that are in the planning process with their brides-to-be, how can they find out more? Get in touch with Debbie Traylor at Debbie's Bridal.
They can call me at 225-256-6242. I'm at 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, 70816. And if you have any questions, I am like a counselor, a bridal consultant, a real person that cares about other people. So if you have a question about anything, then feel free to call me, because my customers will tell you, she didn't sell me that dress, but she pointed me in the right direction of where I needed to be. And that's what we need more people in our world today.
All right, let me be sure I got that right. 225-256-6242.
Yes, sir.
10510 Airline Highway. What's that zip again?
70816.
70816. 10510 Airline Highway, 70816. Tell you what, we're going to break just a couple of minutes early, get this final one out of the way, so we can spend some time with another long-time friend, somebody that all of Baton Rouge and probably all of South Louisiana knows. If you know anything about music from South Louisiana, from Louisiana in general, you know this guy. Mike Shepard is up next on today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. Sit tight.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Mandafine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Mandafine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Mandafine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
The selection is deep, and the time to get a used car is right now from the Team Automotive Group. Shop and save on over 125 certified vehicles and choose from more than 700 pre-owned vehicles at any of our team locations. Or log on anytime at teamautouse.com.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. taste the feeling.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready. And health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Welcome back for the final segment of today's edition of the Clarence Bud Show. This guy really, if you know anything about music in Louisiana, he really needs no introduction. I am fortunate in that I was trying to remember how it was we met. And I think it was back in the video production days. I seem to remember doing a commercial at your place.
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, Mike Shepard is the president and managing member of the Louisiana Music Hall of Fame. Talk about some impressive individuals. And there's a book signing coming up in the near future. You can see the book there. And I thought it was a really appropriate name, Shepherding the Music. Mike Shepard. And I got to ask, first and foremost, what led to you writing this book, Mike?
Boredom. The COVID boredom.
It's like the guy that is from Philadelphia who now calls Baton Rouge home, has been here for 20, 30 years. I said, well, what was it that brought you to Louisiana? He said, my car broke down. Been here ever since.
Well, I asked John Schneider on this same disc one night on my show.
Right.
I said, John Schneider, Louisiana Music Hall of Fame, and I had the plaque face down between us. And I said, why am I doing this? You're from New York.
Right.
And he said, man, he said, I'm not going to preach to you. This is the best music any place.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he said, the second point is it's the best food any place.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, what I learned in the floods of 2016 was these are the best people.
Amen.
And everybody says, hey man, where are you from? And I like to say Louisiana because I like it.
Yeah.
I said, okay, you get the award.
Do you think, speaking of that, do you think the average Louisiana resident truly appreciates just how rich our musical heritage is?
I think they appreciate it on a very guttural level. They like to go out and listen and dance, and that's part of the culture.
Right, and they just figure, well, this great music's got to be everywhere.
I don't think they understand, and that's part of the reason for the Hall of Fame.
Right.
Del Moon told me years ago, he tried this, and he bankrupted, never got anybody inducted. He made a good try at it.
Right.
But it's just that people don't pay close attention to the music. It's all around us.
Right.
It's everywhere. Any place you go, you got music. Your show has got Jim Peterick singing that vehicle on it.
Right.
Jim's a friend. He's played for me. I played shows at Independence Hall with him. I put him at the Pop Festival in Denham Springs that I did.
Right.
And I put him on field with the LSU Tiger Band backing him.
Sweet. Sweet. What does the book encompass?
It's my story. I started playing music at 5 years old. My grandmother's ironwood spinet piano.
Wow.
And that was one thing. I started the book about 5 years later because I was sitting in bed one night, laying in bed, and listening to an old Sears radio.
Right.
About yay big. And it would pick up things. And it would pick up WLS like crazy. And that was, I think it was 1960. And I was listening to the Kingston Trio, the Chad Mitchell Trio, you know, hootenanny.
Right.
All hootenanny folk music, which was good.
Yeah.
You probably listened to it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it dawned on me that, you know, if I adjusted the radio enough, little tweaks and moved the antenna this way, I could pick up WWL and WTIX.
Wow.
Okay, light bulb came on.
Right.
Now I'm listening to Louisiana music. And didn't want this to go away. Neither did Dell. Initially we had the same thoughts, that our musicians are older than any others in the country because we started most of it.
Right.
And they're going to die off before any of the others do.
Long-term goal. What are you hoping to see come about from the Louisiana Music Hall of Fame?
Well, it would be nice after almost 20 years of doing it to not have a building to display the things.
Yeah, that would be nice.
See? And it would be nice.
Yeah.
And I've made several designs for several places,
right,
including Paragon Casino and all. They just, casinos I found change management every less than a year. They didn't want their employees to get too used to their systems.
Right.
So that never went. And I thought I was going to have the Lowe's Theater on Canal Street.
Right.
I wanted the Lowe's Theater.
That would have been a great spot.
Oh, and it is the oldest theater in New Orleans. They spent $30 million redoing the Sanger. The Sanger ain't the original theater.
Right.
The Lowe's is.
Right.
And I have the blueprints from the architects in New York. It's just beautiful. And to go in it even this day, shuttered and closed. You got 70-foot high slabs of marble.
Wow.
When you go in the main room, the lobby, the concession stands are down here. There's 2 marble staircases that curve all the way up to the second floor.
Wow.
It's and three balconies and opera boxes. In fact, you remember the Paramount here?
Oh, yeah.
The Paramount was designed by the same man who designed the Lowe's.
That makes sense.
And he had just the side seats.
Right.
This has opera boxes on each side.
Nice. So, book signing, when and where?
We're going to be signing these tomorrow at an old friend's place. I met him when I met his daddy in the 70s at Coffee Call.
Wow.
And his daddy started Coffee Call.
Okay.
And he is now in his 80s, and he gave the thing over to his son, John. Vincent Canatella, he gave it over to John.
Right.
John and his niece, Brandy, run it now. So.
One thing I can always count on for this guy is making me feel old. Thanks, Mike. You come in here, you mention names like Independence Hall. Very first concert I ever went to in life, I think I was in 5th grade. My father, Sarge, took me to see James Brown at Independence Hall. You mentioned the Lowe's Theater. You mentioned Coffee Call. Way to make a guy just feel old, Mike. Thank you, my friend.
We're both old.
Where can we get a copy of the book if we can't make the book signing tomorrow?
The easiest way is to go to the Hall of Fame website. It's on the front page with PayPal buttons right there. And it's www.LMHOF.
As in Louisiana Music Hall of Fame.
And you can all spell it out.
.org.
.org.
Fantastic. Fantastic. He is a true Louisianian. He is a staple on the music scene. And just flipping through the book earlier, get the hard copy because it's coffee table quality stuff.
Now, Clarence, we're going to also have these at Debbie's Bridal.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Okay, and I've got some to take to her now.
Fantastic, fantastic. Real quick, before we sign off today, today is the last day for homeowners and renters to register with FEMA if you had any property damage or losses caused by that cold snap back in February. The parishes included in this federally declared disaster declaration include the following: Avoyelles, Bienville, Bossier, Caddo, Calcasieu, Catahoula, Claiborne, Concordia, DeSoto, East Baton Rouge, Franklin, Grant, LaSalle, Madison, Natchitoches, Ouachita, Rapides, Red River, Richland, Sabine, Webster, West Carroll, and Wynn. If you need additional info, go. Sorry, Bill? What was the fourth one again? The fourth one? Yeah, right. See, that's why we put him after me. See, he used to be before me. That's why we put him after me. Well, my time's up, y'all, and I got to go. But as you have already heard me say, in all likelihood, unless today is your first day here, this day, maybe more so than any other. I give it to you. America, nah, we are not perfect. But for this old boy's money, it's the best there is. And God knows there's no place else on his green earth that I'd rather be. Speaking of the good Lord, you realize he loves you, right? And I hope you know that I do too. Then again, there ain't a doggone thing you can do about either one. Make your deal. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll do it again tomorrow. God bless.